Okay, there we go. Okay. We're getting it. Hold on. Now, hold on. It's a little bit crooked, but it's gonna work. Yeah, you're gonna have to go somewhere with that because you're just all over the place. Now, is it? Can you hear? So, can you go to my YouTube channel and see if the feedback is too? I'm so sorry. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Just give me 1 second. I promise next week it's gonna be better.
You could hear just a little. Oh, I thought that was color. You could hear just a little bit from that one, but from somewhere, but
Because
it's
this one I
fine.
have down all the way, so all you have is the volume from this from the
Let me type in YouTube like I'm going to your account.
Okay, so welcome to season two. I'm gonna go ahead and roll my intro real quick. You guys are not gonna be able to see the intro live on here, but you will be able to watch it on YouTube if you go to my channel. And it's the same thing, Boss Lady Star. So I'm gonna go play the intro, and then I'm gonna wait for my people to come in so we can get this panel started and get this conversation going. So give me 2 seconds to play this intro. Oh my gosh, I had to pull this up better. I should have had my son do it while he was still here. Let's see. Okay, so here goes the intro, y'all.
Three, two, one.
Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Pour up a cup and vibe on. Boss Lady Star is on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Boss Lady Star.
Thank you, Flackness. I appreciate it. All right, so I want to send this. I have my DMs off right now, but I was trying to send it to my people who's supposed to be on the panel. I'm looking for Cash. I'm looking for General Barron. There's a couple more people. Our counselor for this week will not be on here, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll have a counselor for next week. So every week we're going to have a relationship counselor, and we'll also have a life coach of some type. So we can talk about relationships and people can get honest answers. Ones that are coming on here that want relationship advice, I do not do that. But what I can do is talk about it. So that's why we're here to talk about it. And I'm glad you guys are here and you joined me today. Please share the live, and I appreciate you all. If you guys have something to say about the topics, then please talk about it in the comments, and I will try to make sure I share. If I don't get a chance to say hi to everybody, I will definitely try to do it before I leave. Hey, Lita. But make sure you guys keep checking us out. It's going to be every Saturday. It's going to be a live panel. It'll be different people on here giving their perspective about how they feel about relationships. So tonight's topic is we're going to talk about getting to know your partner. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're going to be talking about getting to know your partners. The people that are watching from YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, welcome, thank you, and make sure you guys can join me on TikTok. Next week I'm gonna switch the platform over to YouTube, and I'll just bounce around a little bit until I feel what's going to be more comfortable. But at the same time, like I said, we are here to talk about relationships, so we're gonna get into it. Looking for, let me see if I can get my people on here, because if not, then I would just start taking some questions from the audience, and we'll just keep on rolling forward because I want to keep us, to 1 hour. We're not going over. If the conversation gets a little hot and heavy and it feels like, oh, okay, well, this needs to be continued, then we'll continue it on another weekend. We'll just continue it the next weekend because I have topics for about 36 weeks right now. So I'm planning it out so I can have something fresh every week and we can discuss new things and new topics. So that's what I'm looking to do. I'm bringing everybody in and inviting everybody into my room and letting them know that it's a comfortable place to talk about relationships. I don't want names given. If there's somebody you've been dating, especially if you've been dating somebody that's online, please do not give their name, their screen name, nothing like that, unless they're on here with you and they want to talk about the relationship, together, then that's perfectly fine. Other than that, we're going to keep it real peaceful and we're going to keep it real respectful. And we're just going to have conversation talk. So like I said, today's topic is getting to know your partner. How do you guys feel about getting to know your partner? What do you think are some ways that you can get to know your partner? It was really big, definitely like right before, not before COVID, pre-COVID, it was definitely talked about like with the love language. I got that book sent to me. Hey, Wifey. So what's up, Pooh? We had so many discussions about that before with different panels, like in other people's lives and other people's podcasts about the five love languages. And I thought that was a great topic. I purchased a couple of books and gave it to a couple of friends, and I was like, look, just read through and figure out which one's your top love language. I think that's a good icebreaker when you're trying to pursue somebody in a relationship and you're trying to be one-on-one. Hey, so I think that that's a good thing to do, is to sit down and discuss how to communicate with your partner. Um, some people just think that it's easy breezy, and like, oh, well, we don't really have to talk about too much. No, you have to talk about everything. You want to get to know that person's likes and that person's dislikes. You want to see what turns them on and what turns them off. You want to make sure that you're getting to know each other on an intimate level, and you want to explore all options in all areas. It can't happen overnight. It does take time, and that's something that a lot of people try to rush into. They want to get to know everything about that person overnight, and it doesn't work that way. So it is best to take time and try to sit things out and see, hey, Stacey, and try to sit things out and say, hey, let's discuss, your do's and your don'ts and things that you like and you dislike. What's up, True Heart? How are you? Like I said, if I don't get a chance to say hi to everybody that's coming out, I do apologize. We are streaming on TikTok. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on, it's supposed to be Instagram. Instagram fell off, but that's okay. We got Facebook, and we also have YouTube and Twitter. So we streaming right now. That's what we're doing. But so our topic tonight, once again, is getting to know your partner. So that's what we're discussing. And if you guys have some comments or some feedback, I would like to hear from you so that we can discuss it a little bit more. It's not only for me, it's for everybody else that's here. What's up, bestie? So that I can sit there and get people's feedback about what they like to discuss when you're meeting somebody. As I stated before, you're not going to sit there and get to know the person that you're with overnight. It doesn't happen like that. It does take time. I do live by the 5 love languages. Whoever I'm talking to or dating, I'm like, look, let you take the test. I'll take the test. And if they come back with I already know my love language, I'm like, here we go. Because your love language can change, and it can change person to person. Because there might be some highs for them or some highs for you or lows for them that, kind of makes your love language change a little bit. It doesn't change you as a person, but at the same time, you might like things a little bit more with this person that you didn't like about the person before, so I think that's really important to discuss and have it wide open and, just kind of get feedback from your partner and see how they feel about certain things. So I think that's very important. How do you guys suggest to get to know your partner? Like I said, our counselor is supposed to be here, but they canceled at the last minute, and that's totally fine. We're going to still keep rocking and rolling. I'm waiting for some of my people from my panel to join. They might have forgot. That's okay. I didn't send no reminders out. We've been talking about this for a while, so it is what it is. We just go ahead and keep it flowing, and that's what we're going to do. But what else? What other ways do you guys see that is a good way to get to know your partner? What do you guys think? I want some feedback from the crowd. So, and if anybody wants to get in, just, try to do an invite, and then I can pull you up on the screen and we can go from there. What's up, Chaser Paper? Chaser, what's going on? And I can pull you guys in. You guys can give me some feedback. You don't got to be on here for the whole live, but you can come in and say your comments, and then you can go back into the comments if you want to. But if you want to say your comments aloud on the screen, just do an invite and I'll add you. Once again, people that are watching, I appreciate you guys for being here. We are streaming live from TikTok. However, I am also on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter going live right now. So other people that want to jump on those platforms, you can watch it from there as well. Time. Yes, that's important. Sheila, what's up, Sheila? What's going on? Yeah, so you said time. That is important. Yes, I did express that it is important to have time with your partner. The topic for tonight is getting to know your partner. So, hey, what's going on? So I think that it is important to have time, with your partner and getting to know them. Things don't happen overnight. Of course, you might want something, but at the same time, it's not going to just happen, overnight. So, yeah, if like I said, anybody wants to get in and, say their comments, they can come in and say their comments real quick. You don't have to be on here for the whole live, but it's supposed to be a live panel, at least 6 people. I don't want to have too many people. Girl, thank you. Look, I was struggling with them lashes, honey. I'm about to call you on FaceTime, like, walk me through this. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go throw them on there. Anyways, that's not what we talk about. All right, so Nicole says, spending quality time with your partner. Don't be afraid to ask each other questions. Absolutely, absolutely. That is a big point to make with being in a relationship. it is very important to ask questions. The ones you think that are the scary ones are probably the ones you need to ask the most, because you're like, you know what, I wonder if, or I think this, or I might think that, and you could overthink something. So if you don't put it out there in the atmosphere and ask your partner, hey, how do you feel about this? Or how do you think we should handle this situation, or whatever? It's very important to communicate. Very important. Yeah, exactly. Closed mouths don't get fed. Absolutely, absolutely. Being loyal to each other. Yeah, so that is that, being loyal to each other in the very beginning when you're getting to know somebody, and the rest of the relationship too. It is very important to be loyal. And so we're talking about getting to know them, from the beginning, but at the same time, it is important to establish that, you know, and that comes with the questions, so if you're sitting there and you're talking to somebody and you want to know some feedback from them, and you want to get that, that in-depth response, and you want that face-to-face, that eye contact, and sitting there just talking to each other and getting to know each other, then it's best that you do communicate, and then that way you can build on that loyalty. So that is very important. I'm glad that you said that. So yes, what else do you guys think are some great tips that are good for people that are getting to know their partner? Like we said, quality time, and time was something that was said already. Loyalty was another one that was put out there. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that one, loyalty. Like I said, I really live by the 5 languages. I think that those other languages just haven't been established in a book, but still, the 5 love languages is definitely very important to me, because you can sit there and you can get to know how to communicate with your partner. So absolutely. Oh yes, Sheila. Sheila, you need to jump in the box, because yeah, you need to go ahead and talk. Let's talk about it. Anyways, yeah, definitely being transparent. Being transparent is very good. Honest and keeping everything 100. True. Absolutely true. Those are 2 good points. So I'm going to attack the first one first, Sheila. It is very important to be transparent. And that goes along with what Chasen said as far as the loyalty. So it kind of you're being loyal, but at the same time, you're being open. You're being open, you're being honest with your partner, letting them know, like, hey, this is what's going on. I have family members that, they can't walk, and they need to put that out there and let them know, because you sit there and meet them and thinking that you're getting this person that's, able-bodied, but at the same time, that's one of their disabilities, but they don't want to share it. I'm like, it's going to come out eventually. You have to have that type of discussion. I have family members that are like slightly deaf in their ears, and they sign, but at the same time they can talk, but they might not hear everything that you're saying. So I'm like, a nice way to bring it up with this brand new with somebody is to say, hey, you need to talk a little bit louder in this ear. You know what I'm saying? Or, if you're out in public, you don't want somebody screaming, then at least, hey, can you write this down and then say it to me kind of, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, I think that that's important, definitely, to have that transparency open and be able to share with your partner. Hey, these are some things that are going on with me. It doesn't have to always be medical, you know what I'm saying? It could be something financial. You start a brand new relationship and you broke. Hey, put it out there. Hey, I'm broke. We're going to do some cheap dates. I really like you, but this is what we about to do. Because I really want to spend time and I want to get to know you, but I ain't got it like that to be going to Ruth Chris or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But just, keeping it 100. And that's what Stacey had said before, being honest and keeping everything 100. So yeah, if you're out there and you're in the world where you're dating, and you're trying to get to know somebody, because that's the topic for tonight, and we're going to try to stay on topic. If you're trying to get to know somebody and you're trying to, go further in the relationship, is definitely very important. What's that meaning? It's very important to let those things be known. Hey, I got a financial issue, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I like to gamble, I like to play scratch offs. I like to go swimming in the rain sometimes when the lightning strikes, whatever the case may be, but just being transparent is very important. So, yeah, I like those. Those are good. Those are good pointers, in a relationship, getting to know somebody, getting to know your partner, thing that was kept repeated over and over again was time. So time definitely is important. And then also, being able to be transparent. Being transparent is something that is needed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome back, Triple V. Yeah. So I want some more time. Everybody else give me something else. Like I want something else that people say, okay, when I get to know somebody, I want to know this about them, or you think it's a good sharing point to talk about. What do you guys think? I want some feedback. So we got time. We got being loyal. We got being transparent. Those are all great things when you're starting something brand new with somebody. And I think that carries on. Oh my gosh, yes, knowing their family. We'll definitely talk about that. Public display of affection. You did say PDA before. I'm sorry, I did. It come up. It came up, and I read it, and I was going to go back to it, but I forgot to go back. So thank you for putting it again. But yes, getting to know the person's family, that's very important too. How soon do you think you should meet their family? That's another thing. So for me, when I get to know somebody, I'm like, oh, I'm all head over heels. I want them to meet my immediate family first. Then I'll let them meet everybody else later. But at the same time, I like them to meet them first. And I do that because, first of all, the world we live in today. So I want to be safe. And I'm like, okay, you got to meet like these key people. These people are most important in my life. And I need to make sure that they know who you are. They know what you look like. My mom, when I started dating, like in high school, she used to be like, take a picture. Well, we didn't have picture phones back then. Write down the license plate. But as you got older, take a picture of the license plate. Make sure you know where their house is. I've let those things slip from my mind growing up. And so I don't even pay attention to those things no more. And it's so important to do it now because things are just, you don't know who exactly you're out there dating. And you think you might know that person, but you really don't know. So it's good to make sure that you get to know the family, like, yeah, you can't keep telling me, oh, you're going to meet so-and-so. Okay, when? Next year, the year after? Like, I think that is important to get to know the family, especially if I pulled you into my immediate circle. I don't expect to meet somebody's family members immediately like I do with mine. But eventually, like I'm thinking eventually, like within the first 3 to 6 months, I think that should be fair to be like, okay, hey, I want you to meet my kids, or I want you to meet so-and-so, whatever. I think that's very important. Knowing the family, that was one. So let me go back up real quick. So you said emotional PDAs. Yes, I think that, so very much so when you're starting a new relationship, that goes into the communication part though. So you want to be able to talk about it first, which was Sheila was saying, being transparent. You want to be able to be transparent, like, hey, I like to hold hands. I like to kiss out in public. You want to have those conversations with your partner and find out what they like and what they dislike, because that's that getting to know each other part. So you can't sit there and automatically assume like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go snatch my lady up and we about to be walking the streets all, holding hand. It might be hot out and she don't want to do all that. She'd be like, okay, I'm standing right next to you, like we out together. Or the girl might be like, oh yeah, we about to be kissing and stuff. And the guy be like, yo, we could do that at home, or we could do it in the car, or whatever. We ain't gotta be all in public doing that. So it goes back to communication and being transparent and talking to your partner, finding out exactly what they like, if they do like PDA or they don't. So public display of affection is definitely something, a starter for a relationship. You're absolutely right. Let me see. Once you're in a stable relationship first. Yeah. So, okay. I think you're talking about as far as the family. So yes. And that's what I was saying, like, as far as the time frame. So I'm thinking like within 3 to 6 months, it should be some kind of communication about, hey, when am I going to meet such and such, or when I'm going to meet somebody. Like, I can't stand with somebody, oh, my best friend. And I'm like, well, I want to meet your best friend. I mean, you're going to meet him eventually. All right, never mind. Don't even worry about it. No worry about it. But no, yeah, I think that is important, having some type of stable relationship first. So if you do have that stable relationship and you guys are still brand new, it's something that can be talked about. Oh, thank you, Milton, so much. I appreciate you. Is very important to discuss that as well. So I think talking about going back to time, I think that's something that should be discussed in the very beginning. Hey, we're talking. You don't have to be written down every little, bit and pieces. Like, oh yeah, well, we have to do this today. No, we don't. We can sit there and say, well, we're gonna do next month. Okay, next month I'm gonna introduce you to XYZ or whatever. But yeah, so I think that's very important. My phone might cut out for a second because I got a message. But okay, let's go. Okay. It's important to know that we are two individuals coming together. Oh my gosh, come on, preach, come on, Sheila. We have our own lives to live. Absolutely, yes. And that comes with the, communication again. Just, being transparent, like you said before, and making sure that everybody's on the same page. Like you said, it's two people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't born together. Y'all didn't come out the womb together. So y'all come two different individuals coming together, trying to make something work. And you're trying to work towards a long-lasting relationship, but definitely two different people coming together. That's a good point to make, especially in the beginning. When it comes to starting out something brand new, you want to have those guidelines and kind of like some kind of barriers of, okay, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to work for, without rushing into it. But still, that's still the beginning, so that's perfect. I think I hit everybody's comments that said something, so I appreciate that. I appreciate your feedback. Wait, hold on. Agree, boss, with the family part. Yeah, definitely with the family. So, like, like I said, I think that benefits and disbeliefs. Oh, beliefs and disbeliefs. Oh yeah, that's definitely a starter. That's definitely a starter for relationships. It's important to have those kind of conversations so that you guys are on the same page. There's some religions that don't allow other people, or beliefs and disbeliefs. There's people that don't believe in dating people from a different religion or a different background or anything. They don't believe in it, but that's their choice. And then they could choose to say like, oh, you're this perfect person for me, but because of this, then I just can't look past that. So that is something that needs to be discussed, beliefs and disbeliefs. So yeah, absolutely. I don't want to insult people. Yeah, true. Milt, I know you've been jumping in and out. I appreciate you coming through too. If you have something you want to say, you want to get on the panel, that's fine. I had like 2 or 3 people that's supposed to be a part of the panel. I think they forgot, and that's fine. We're gonna keep on going because I'm going off at 7 o'clock so I can go edit and upload. We are live here on TikTok, and we are also live on YouTube and Twitter, and Facebook. So we live all over right now. It's supposed to be on IG, but IG dropped off. So what was that? Dr. Anderson, thank you for walking in, Dr. Anderson. The discussion tonight is about relationships, and we're talking about beginning of relationships, how you're supposed to like get along, and what are some of the things you start talking about in the very beginning when you're starting to focus on a relationship. I thought that was a perfect place to start tonight for the simple fact that you have to start somewhere. So the whole season is going to be about relationships and conversations about that. But I want to start off at the beginning, getting to know your partner. So today that's what we're talking about, getting to know your partner. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, so that's what's most important to me is making sure, you guys hit like all the big ones on the head. Time is important. Talking about public display of affection. No, I'm saying if you want to jump in, you can jump in. Just push invite and I can invite you so you could be on the panel too. Anybody else that wants to jump on the panel, like I said, I'm jumping off right at 7. I'm going to be on time with it. Thank you guys for helping me achieve my goal. I appreciate that as well. But yes, so we discussed that time is very important. Getting to know your partner, talking about public display of affection. That's very important as well. Because you want to know, you want to know what's okay and what's not okay, amongst the two of you. Understanding that you guys are 2 individuals that are trying to come together as one. That's very, very important. There's a lot of people that have beliefs of, oh, I'm the man, I'll lead. And then there's some people that be like, well, hey, I'm the head of the household because I make the most money. So those are conversations that you have because you guys are living separate lives, but you want to come together. So you want to be on the same page in the same book. So you can be on the same page in different books, and that can get a little bad. But anyways, it definitely is important to have those discussions and being transparent. That was a couple of things that was really, really important. Being loyal and getting to know your partner. And that's the topic for tonight, was getting to know your partner. So I'm going to do a little break. Y'all not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to do it on this end for YouTube. And the YouTube people are going to see the 30-second commercial about being powered by CTR Media. So give me 1 second, and Milton, I'm going to come back to your comment.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, and we back, and that was from CTR Media Network. If you guys don't know about them, y'all better go add them. They're on everything. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. They're on YouTube. They have their own website and their own channel, and ctrmedianetwork.com. My whole function of everything that I do is powered by CTR Media Network. So let's go back to the comment. I believe we all need to filter out the things that don't work naturally between us. Absolutely. And then let's see what else you said. Gender roles, in my opinion, hurt over relationships. Yeah, over relationships, because we start to section ourselves off from them. That's true too. Yeah. So I agree with that. I agree with that too. When you're starting to do gender roles, that's a touchy topic. That's a whole nother topic by itself. Gender roles is a whole nother topic, and I say that because it could get broken down so many different ways. And what one person believes, somebody else might not believe, and then it just goes haywire. But like you said before, naturally, the things that don't work out naturally between y'all. So yes, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're starting and it's brand new and you're starting to discuss certain things, and when you start discussing those certain things, it gets a little bit rocky because they believe one thing over the other. Yeah, then you might wanna sit there and think that one through a little bit, because it can get into like a little battle, and it shouldn't be. It should be just a natural conversation. Welcome in. How are you, Dr. Sanderson? That's what it is. Sorry about that.
Doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. I kind of just wanted to add, like me personally, I've been married since 1996, so I'm thinking this year makes 27 years.
Okay.
But one thing I have kind of learned, and just watching, like I have a son that's 26, and the thing that I instilled in him is that, when you start a new relationship, give it a little time at the beginning, but kind of, ask, what their goals are.
Right.
To kind of see where they're headed, because a lot of times, you'll have, male and female, they'll get involved with someone because they may see how much money you make, or may see how much you drive, but don't have no ambitions for themselves.
Right.
So, and and I kind of see that, and I hope neither one of them are watching, because I'm gonna say what I got to say.
Right.
But I kind of see that in the person that he's dealing with, because I think he was more caught up with the sex part of it. And I get it, when you're young,
right?
I get, and I get it, but I kind of lived and learned, so I try to instill in them the things that I wish I'd have learned back then.
Right.
But yeah, I say definitely, see where a person's goals are. What ambitions do they have in life? To kind of see if y'all goals even match.
Right.
Check their credit score. That's the real important thing, because you don't want to get with nobody and you have ambitions of wanting things in life.
Right.
But you have somebody that's kind of really more dragging you down versus then, pushing you, whether it be male or female.
Right.
It goes both ways. But I say definitely, in the learning stages, if you have any red flags to see, okay, because as well as I know, when you first meet somebody, the first few times, you're going to meet their representative.
Right. Absolutely.
You're not going to meet the real person.
Right.
But the real person comes out once you move your butt in with them. So you're going to see some stuff versus, when you were just, visiting them for a few here and there.
Right.
To where you just probably had to deal with them an hour or two and go home. Versus, now it's 24/7. But just see if a person has the same ambitions and same goals. Well, you just have goals for themselves. Maybe not the same ambitions and goals that you have, but just have some ambitions and drive to want something in life.
Right.
Because it can come to bite you, further down the line, and you'll be kicking yourself in the butt 20 years later. Right.
Absolutely.
10 years later. But take that time. You may find a woman, that's beautiful and, man, giving you everything you want, you think you need. It ain't worth a damn. Versus a woman can find a man, think he's all that, it ain't worth a damn. And you come to find out, well, damn, I done wasted all this damn time behind somebody that didn't want nothing and definitely didn't want me.
Right.
So take your time and just make a smart decision. Don't rush into that. Don't let nobody make you feel less than you are. Because a lot of times if people know how you really feel about them, they'll use it to their advantage.
Right. They play off of it. Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen that so many times. Yeah.
Exactly. So they know you won't necessarily walk away.
Right.
Or, they can do certain things to you and know that there's nothing that you're going to do about it.
Right.
So just don't fall for that trap. Just know your self-worth and know that you're meant to be loved as well, and that the feelings are supposed to be mutual, not one-sided.
One-sided,
and you can
absolutely.
tell. You know, a lot of people, you know, you'll know, you'll see the red flags. But a lot of people don't want to believe what they see versus they just want to believe how they feel.
Right,
Or
right.
want to believe what they think that you are. Sometimes a person tells you exactly who they are.
Right. You just don't want to believe it. Some people just don't want to believe it. Yeah. So
Some people just don't. And hell, I can speak on situations, you know, that myself. That I mean, I've been there.
right.
I've been there. I'm a man. You know, I'm pretty sure all of us have situations to, well, okay, I wish we would have went this direction or that direction. But when we have kids, you try to give them the game.
Right.
Now sometimes they don't take it. You know, they still want to touch that hot stove.
Right.
You told them it was not.
Mm-hmm.
But life is the best teacher.
Absolutely.
Life is the best teacher.
Somebody said do a background check. I think that that's important, but like he was saying, like doing like credit checks and so on. Not credit, but yeah, he did. He said do a credit check and stuff like that. I think that's more towards when you're about to move in. I think that that's important, you know, because then you kind of know what you're getting yourself into before even making that step. And then Milton said, truly get to know them, leaving no stones unturned. And that's true too. Because you're just sitting there looking at, you know, not just the outside, but the inner side. And then Lita said, which is important too, wait, I passed it and then I went back. Hold on one second. She said something about getting to know them for the seasons. Oh, here it goes. Knowing an individual throughout the seasons. And that's very important. I was watching some show the other day on one of these streaming channels. I was watching it, and when I was looking at it, they were saying, yeah, you have to be able to know how that person handles death, how that person handles losing a job, how that person handles you know, a brand new kid. Like you have to get to know them through those different seasons. You can do that together. You don't have to do that separately. You can do that together. That's the only way you're going to get to know your partner the best, but it's going to take time for that. So it's not something that's going to be handled, you know, taken care of immediately. How long have you been married? He said he's been married for 26 years.
Yeah,
27, excuse me. Yeah, going on 27.
And one more thing I wanted to, a lot of people don't take marriage seriously. Well, as far as the for better or for worse part. I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me back in 2021 in July.
Give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Just because this comment hits really heavy. They said this day and time, some people lie so good it's believable. That's so true. That is true. That is true. Yeah, social media is definitely a big thing that helps out with that. And like everything looks good, but it's not what it seems. You know, people be sitting there flossing like they got houses and cars and, you know, money galore, and they taking trips and ain't left nowhere, working part-time at the McDonald's and can't even get a full-time job because of their history. So yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right with that. But okay, I'm sorry. Go with your story that you're going to say.
No problem. Well, back in July of 21, I was at work doing my job. I was driving the garbage truck. You know, that's what I was doing at the time. And a guy decided to take his own life, and he hit me head on at 80 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see him coming. I remember someone coming to the truck, just listening to him, you know, asking me, was I okay? And at the time, I didn't know what happened.
Right.
And the next voice I heard, it said, Jamal, it's not your time. And I knew that was God.
Right.
And I don't remember being pulled out the truck. I don't remember riding in no ambulance. I remember waking up in the hospital room. But I say it to say this, what I said back earlier, you know, and for better or for worse. With my wife, we didn't have our ups and downs.
Right.
But at that hospital, I was in the hospital almost 3 months. My foot was crushed. My femur bone was broke. Had broken ribs, you know, broken finger. I was messed up.
Right.
But I can say my wife stayed at that hospital with me every single night.
Right.
For those 2 months. And even when I got home, you know, I couldn't walk. I was wheelchair bound. I had to learn to walk again.
Right.
You know, so it was things that I couldn't do you know, for myself. You know, I couldn't, you know, I'm gonna say it, I couldn't wipe my own butt.
Right.
You know, but she did it for me. So, and that's another thing. It's so careful to know who you choose. Like I say, you will know how a person is,
Mm-hmm.
but you just have to be willing to accept what you see.
Right.
Because a person can't wait to tell you how they feel about it. They're gonna tell you.
Absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily gonna be with words.
Right.
So you'll know. But I say this to say, for anything for better is all good, man. You know, people gonna party with you, but when you in those dark times, those bad times,
Right.
that's when you know that you have a true partner. And that's someone that you want to hold on to.
Right.
Because if you seen Tyler Perry movie, you seen that woman came back after her husband left her,
Mm-hmm.
but she stuck with her vows and took care of it, man.
Right.
No matter how she dogged them out, but most people these days will tell you, shit, I didn't sign up for that.
Right. They be out.
I just seen that happen to other people. You know, family members get sick and they spouse like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
And gone.
Yeah.
You know, left you. And I pray nothing happens to anyone, you know, out there. But I just say it to say, be careful on the partner, you know, that you choose. Don't just rush into anything.
Right.
Don't just think that you have to accept this person because you've been looking for somebody for so long and you finally got somebody. Just be careful. Trust me, when the timing is right, the right person gonna fall right into place and it's gonna be the perfect time.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for coming in and telling me your side of the story and what you've been through. And that is a perfect testimony for, you know, the episode 1 as far as getting to know your partner. And like I said, that was the topic for tonight. And that's definitely appreciated because you gave some feedback that, you know, to make people open their eyes pretty much, especially when it comes to relationships.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to be loved. Shit, I want to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved, but at the same time, you just can't rush into it. You know, you just can't rush into it. So, yeah, it's definitely important. Definitely important to try to stick with the person that you want. Okay, a woman will stick with a man through it all, but with a man will not. There's men that will, and there's men that won't, and then there's women that will, and there's women that won't. So it really just depends, you know. And that's what he was explaining. Like you get to know that person. When you're starting to, you know, when you're dating them and it's one-on-one, then you get to know like, oh, that person's going to stick around, but you have to kind of get through to that point where it actually happens, you know, before you can sit there and say, yeah, nah, they're not the one. So, but yeah, I definitely appreciate you swinging through. We're going to be live every Saturday at 6 p.m. It's going to be for 1 hour, 6 to 7. So you're more than welcome to come back at any time and make sure you know, keep on watching and give us some comments, some feedback. We appreciate you.
Well, definitely. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
You guys have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Flight Risk said, a woman told me sickness and in health. She also said indefinitely. So when you say no. So what? A woman told me sickness and in health. She also said indefinitely. So I'm not sure exactly what she's trying to say, but yeah. I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to say with your statement. You said a woman said that when sickness is out, right? So when you get married, like in sickness and health, and then you said indefinitely, and then would you say no? Why would you say no? I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, I do appreciate the doctor coming in, Dr. Sanderson. That was dope. Yeah, indefinitely. She said even if they cheat. Oh, well, that's a personal decision. You know, that's something that needs to be discussed between those two partners. So if the understanding is with one partner to the other, you know, as far as cheating, like if one person says, you know, hey, I'm cool. I'm not cool, but they say like, okay, yeah, you did your thing, but you know, don't do it no more. Then that's the decision between the two people. You know, it can't be outside people feeding into it. And that's what happens a lot, especially with relationships. If, you know, a friend wants to talk to another friend and tell them, and they'd be like, oh, girl, you shouldn't. Or a guy talks to his guy friend and the guy be like, oh, I would never. And then, they're trying to make a decision off of somebody else, but they don't know exactly what's going on in that household. So, yeah. Yeah, she said, I'm talking layman's terms. Yeah, but yeah, indefinitely is indefinitely, but you have to have that discussion, with your partner. So, like I said, you never know what somebody's willing to do unless it's discussed. So if it's out there and it's talked about and it's okay, then fine. And if it's forbidden, then there has to be another discussion, another conversation. So no, I kept trying to go back. I think you said infidelity. And I was starting saying indefinitely. That's why he was like, no, that's why I kept going back and trying to look at it. But yeah, infidelity. That's just said, oh, and she's talking about cheating. Got it. I got you. That's why I brought it back. But yeah, it's all about those people in the relationship and what they communicate about, and if they talk about cheating or like that shouldn't be a discussion that you should have right away, because there should be nobody cheating, especially if y'all just starting a date. But if it's something that happens and it takes place, then that should be something that is discussed. There's people that will walk out, and then there's people that will stay. So just to each their own on that one. But y'all had some really good points today. I really appreciate y'all chiming in and giving feedback. I like it a lot. Next week we will be talking about. I'm gonna have the topic posted after this show. I'll have it posted on here what we're gonna be talking next week, and hopefully we'll have our whole panel here so they can actually put their feedback in too. So we have been talking about it for a couple of weeks. So I thought everybody was ready today. Not everybody showed up, but it's okay. We still had a good run. It's 6:43. I'm not jumping off quite yet because I do want to keep it right at an hour. But yeah, like I said, I do appreciate you guys swinging through, and the people that have been watching from YouTube and from Twitter and from Facebook, I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you so much for joining in today. We will be back every Saturday at 6 p.m. There will be some Saturdays I'll have to skip like one or two because I'll be doing other events. But y'all gonna rock with me. I'm gonna rock with y'all. I'll make sure yes, not at all. I'm definitely gonna make sure I keep you guys posted, and I'll post in my story like what the next topic is gonna be, and then people can choose to tune in, or they can wait until the next topic. Either which way, I'm definitely gonna post it about it. Our relationship handled cheating better than your relationships. Yeah. If you're talking about like old school, yeah, back in the day, like that was a thing. Not saying that it was acceptable, but definitely way back, like my grandparents and great grandparents, it was like you knew down the street was Susie Q, and Susie Q had like 3 kids from grandpa and from great grandpa or whatever, and those were your siblings, your cousins, and all everybody was related to somebody, but everybody was kind of doing their own thing back then, and they still doing they do their things right now, but when they're doing it now, they're doing it on a whole nother level. So, and it's not really a good thing because it ends up being a fallout or a disagreement, or somebody can't handle it and they take it too far. So yeah, things be happening. But back in the day, it was a little bit more disgusting. It was like, okay, don't do that again. I don't want to see you down there with so and so. But grandpa's gonna do what grandpa's gonna do, and grandma did her thing too. So kidding is not the end for all. Okay, that's true, but the reason why is important to know. Oh, okay. So for you, it's important to know why they cheated. And we have a whole topic about cheating coming up. That's going to be like three episodes in. Cheating is going to be one of the topics, but we'll definitely discuss that too during that time frame. But yeah, so like I said, that's what I was just explaining. Sometimes people will be like, okay, that's cool. Not cool like they accept it, but like, okay, I'm not mad. I'm pissed, maybe furious, but we need to talk about this. And we need to make sure that, that we have an understanding why, you did what you did, and that you're not going to do it again, because nobody wants to keep going through that same cycle. So, you're like, okay, I heard what you said, and I let that go, but you're not going to do this again next week and the week after and the week after. So yeah, like a one-time thing, maybe once every couple of years, whatever. But but yeah, without that, just do it on a regular basis. Yeah, that's. I mean, you might as well just be with somebody else, or be out of that relationship. Because at a certain point in time, it's like, okay, it's just too much. But yeah, so like I said, we have a whole nother episode. We're gonna talk about just cheating alone. So that's gonna be a good thing. Cheating, and then threesomes and foursomes, all that stuff. All those sums are gonna be coming up. So everything's gonna be talked about in the very near future. Like I stated, I will be putting the next topic up for next week after the show. Oh, I cannot with you. It's not an end all, but I'm gonna get my lick back. I got you. Tit for tat. Yeah, it is. It is, but I mean, human nature. It happens. It happens. So, like, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, no problem. It's a little bit before 7, but guess what, you guys? I want to go and edit, so I'm going to end this live. I appreciate you all for coming through, showing up, and showing love. I appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. I will see you guys next Saturday. I'm going to post the next topic really soon, and then I have to go through and make sure I put my credits on here. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate y'all, and thank you guys for sliding through. Have a good evening, and I'm going to play this commercial one more time, but I'm going to end it over here, okay? Talk to y'all later.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Just like that, Boss Lady Star out, y'all. Peace.